4. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the EG Pod Thunder with your boy, the young light-skinned Keith Sweat. And to my right, my guy, Elray _Justin has finally returned to the pod after a hiatus.
Oh, I know.
I think it's a common thing. It's kind of a common thing every time you come on. It's been so long. When I give you that intro, you forget to say something.
A little rusty.
He'll knock that rust off once we start talking about basketball. And to my left, my guy has returned. He was one of the OG guests, the first person to ever reach out to come on the pod. My guy, Cam's Corner.
Appreciate you having me on, man.
Hey, man, you want to give that link right before they forget to follow my guy? Give your IG real quick.
It's at CamiaSimone, and for Cam's Corner, it's at Cam's One Corner.
Yeah, man, and you have been doing a lot since the last time you have been on. I think you came on before NBA season even ended. I remember talking about it before the playoffs. So it's been a while. I think like maybe March, April of last year. So about like 8 months you haven't been on the podcast. So since then, what has been going on in Cam's life? I know you've been doing a whole bunch.
Yeah, so since then I started at URI because when we talked I was still at Rick, doing my thing over there with like all the broadcasts and everything. The first I think round or two of the NBA playoffs was going on. Mm-hmm. The Celtics weren't obviously into the finals yet with Golden State, but I worked at the Sportshub that summer. So before, we talked about it a little bit, but that summer going into it, I worked at 98.5 the Sportshub. That was a heck of an experience. And then now I'm at URI doing all the men's games for men's basketball on ESPN Plus.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, Elray, feel free to chime in if you ever have a question. So let's talk about your first experience at the radio station. So going in, did you have any nerves? What was that first 1 or 2 weeks like in that the new scenario for you?
I didn't know what to expect, really. I mean, I thought, because I like doing a lot of on-camera stuff, like with the podcast and talking with everybody like that. It was more so like a producing end of it, like internship. So I got to learn a lot, behind the camera, what goes on behind the scenes. And then my first week, I don't know if you know who Ray Bork is, like a Bruins legend. He was on the show, and I got to meet him. I got an autographed jersey from him, so that was really cool. And then just stuff like that, like Matthew Slater from the Patriots was there a couple of weeks. Meeting really cool people in New England that play sports. That was probably the first time I felt starstruck around athletes.
Do you think there's a lot of is that taboo to ask if somebody comes in the office, are you not supposed to act like they're a celebrity, just like they're a regular person?
Yeah, I mean that was kind of the harder part, adjusting wise. Trying to talk to them like they're obviously they're regular people, but they're obviously a higher caliber than I am, and doing broadcasts and stuff, and being able to talk to cooler and higher end people on my podcast. Most recently, I got into I've learned to adjust to that, so that definitely helped though in the earlier stages, definitely. Have
you ever had those scenarios already when you've been starstruck from somebody?
I feel like I haven't run into that many famous people in life.
Well, you gotta tell you've never said this in the podcast, sports podcast. You already know where I'm going with this. I
already know.
You have to tell your story with your boy. You hate him now at this moment in time because of this. Your guy, Paul Pierce.
It's just put it this way. It's on site if I ever see Paul Pierce again. No, because it was what was it?
In Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas. I think the summer going into my junior year, we had an AU tournament in Vegas, and at the time there was a fight night, and that's when I forgot who it was, but you seen all the celebrities there. It was Magic Johnson, he had stopped and taken a picture. There was a bunch of people that had stopped and at least said hi. Paul Pierce, I walked by and I'm like, "Oh, Paul Pierce, yo, can we get your picture? Can we take a picture?" Just kept walking, kept moving like nothing. So to this day, I was super anti-Celtics for the longest, and because I'm a LeBron James fan. But that was one of the main reasons I was it's fuck the Celtics for life, and now here I am rooting for the Celtics. But that's because Jason Tatum and I'm a Duke guy. So
yeah, I've had one person I can recall big time me. I've had a bunch of people. I've been around celebrities often, going to these games and stuff like that. But one that I vividly remember is Chris Webber big time me. And I'm like, what? Of all people, Chris Webber gonna big time me? No one even cares about you that much, motherfucker. But I was like, all right. It's on site with Chris Webber too. He would kill me. He's 2 feet taller than me. But I was, you know what? Screw this guy. The one I can vividly remember, yeah. Has anybody big time you yet?
When I was little, one player did. He was an all-time player for the Giants. He played with Lawrence Taylor. Carl Banks. I had my hat out. I'm a little kid. he kind of just walked right by me. But most recently, probably Clyde Frazier. He's one of the announcers for the Knicks.
Yep.
Yeah, he was one of I think he won the last championship with the Knicks too in like '73. But right after Kobe passed away, they had like it was a year or two after, I think, or a year. They had like the Hall of Fame inductee thing with Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett at Mohegan, and I went to it, and there was like a ton of people there, like Shaq, Kenny, all those guys, a lot of NBA players, of course. And Clyde was one of the first people I saw like just in the casino walking. I was like, "Oh, Clyde, can I get a picture?" And he he was kind of like close to me, but he like put his hand like, "Nah, I'm not doing that." Like, you know what I mean?
Of all people, like, you're gonna big time me. Like, you should be happy people even recognize who you are at this point. Like, I would understand. Like, it's funny how Shaq's nice to people, how all these people are nice, but then Clyde, you're gonna big time me, bro. You should be even. I know who you are. What the hell?
I feel like they're people too, so they could be having an off day sometimes. That happens. Not to give them the benefit of the doubt or anything.
Not sports related. But did you see that Bad Bunny thing?
Oh yeah. When he was, the girl ran up on him. The one outside, ran up on him and with her phone in his face. And he took it and tossed it. So I understand. Like he's like, if you came up to me and just would have asked, I would have like taken a picture. But you're like all up in the face. But the ones of him like in the club where he was like snatching phones and just like tossing them.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? Yeah,
no.
There's a video of him like in the club and people were recording. He's like snatching people's phones.
Bro, you're in the club at that point. What are you expecting? Like, people probably come to the club for you.
I don't know. My boy's tired. He had a busy year. So
he did. Are you familiar with what we're talking about?
No, I'm not.
You know what Bad Bunny is?
Yeah.
He was outside walking, and the girl was like in his face. He literally grabbed her phone and threw it into the ocean. And just kept walking. Just kept walking.
Damn.
No, shut up, Siri. So my guy Cam's Corner, it starts getting popping. You have 1 million followers. What kind of celebrity are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be how I am now. I'm the same Cam. I don't want to, because if someone like you just said, if someone recognizes me, I'd be humbled and blessed to know that someone cares about what I do and stuff like that. So if anyone ever asks to take a picture or hopefully one day an autograph, like that'd be sick.
Yeah, cause people don't understand like that power that has. Because I'm not sure if you know Mike Breen's one of his like idols.
Yeah.
And he had the privilege to meet Mike Breen, and he said that he was one of the coolest dudes.
Yeah.
You want to tell him real quick? That's the interaction, because I'm not sure Elray is not familiar with that. So
yeah, so you know who Mike Breen is though, right?
Yeah. So the announcer. Isn't he like one of the main announcers for the Knicks?
Yeah, he's the play-by-play guy for the Knicks, and he does like all like the a lot of the main like televised games, like primetime games and stuff like that. Even the NBA Finals too. But.
I did not know he was the Knicks.
I knew he was the Knicks. I knew he did all the other stuff, but I forgot. I was watching like NBA TV, I think, and they do like whatever teams playing their play-by-play guys.
With the local guys.
Yeah, and it was Mike Breen. That's how I knew.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he what was I gonna say? Yeah, so he does like the NBA Finals, all that stuff, and similar to like what I told you about Carl Banks, like it was kind of like in the same like Iowa way. And I went to like one of my first Knicks games at MSG, and my dad was like, "Oh, there's Mike Breen." This is like before I even went to Rick, or before I started doing all the stuff I did at Rick with broadcast. And he's like, "Oh, I should go say hi." So I went up and said hi to him, shook his hand, took a picture, and he was like super humble. And I was like, "That's exactly like if I can ever get to that point in my life, that's how I'm definitely gonna be. Like I would never ever like turn down anybody that would want a picture or something like that."
Yeah, because imagine he did. Like that would like, crush you probably. But that's
no, I know,
right
yeah, like exactly too. And like, I got to speak at Hendricken probably like a month ago about like what I do, and like the sports media program was interested in how I got into it. So after talking to those kids, they were all like, "Oh, can we get a picture? Can we get a picture?" And like they, that to me was like, "Damn, you want a picture of me? Like what, what did I do? I haven't done anything crazy yet." But that was like, damn, it could one day be like that, normally that I wouldn't mind it. I thought that'd be pretty cool.
That's super cool, actually. I do have one question. At what point in life did you realize like that's something you wanted to do, to be like involved in sports and sports media and all that kind of stuff?
I got asked this question a few days ago too. It was like probably my freshman year when COVID was going around for college. Like my senior year of high school, COVID obviously shut everything down, and I didn't know where I was going to go to school. So after that, once I committed to Rick, everything was still online. I wanted to be around sports, and I got into a couple programs, realized that I was good on the mic, good like talking, and very personable. So once they put me on like a broadcast for like, I think it was like volleyball, I was like, I want to do like my sport. I want to do basketball and baseball and all that. And then, since Rick took off, I got the job at the Sportshub and just, kind of tried to level up ever since that.
That's cool. That's definitely pretty cool.
Yeah. So then, you got the Sportshub. It was just internship by the Sportshub, correct?
Yeah. No, I didn't get paid. It was just for a school credit. My first internship through college. Yeah.
And how long was that? Just for the summer, a month, or?
Yeah, it was 4 months. Yeah.
Oh, 4 months. Oh, nice. So yeah, you built, because I see just from that internship, did you get a lot of those guests on your podcast from there?
Yeah, like the guy who does the Celtics, Sean Grandy. He's usually on NBC Sports Boston or the Sportshub. I got to talk to him. Bob Sosi does the Patriots. One of the hosts from the Zolak and Bertrand show, the show that I interned at, I got one of those hosts on. So yeah, it was a really cool summer, definitely.
What is some of your favorite podcasts you've done over the summer, or since the last time I've talked to you?
Since the last time we talked, definitely Ricky Lito was probably one of my favorite ones.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Talking of like players that have played in the NBA or overseas or had that in like Will Tavares, who I was telling you about, who went to Hendricken. Really just people that have a story. Everyone has a story, and and I think it's cool to like really dig deep. People that don't really get the opportunity to outlet themselves like that. I think that those are like the best genuine podcasts.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm not sure your style, but like when I have people on, as you both know right now, I didn't ask you guys anything beforehand. Nothing is pre-planned. It's all conversation.
Yeah.
Like, that's when people it's not an interview. It's more like having a conversation with someone, because I don't like it pre-planned. I think it's not authentic if it's, that's the case with the way we're going. So like, what's your style when you're having Ricky on, Sean Grandy, and all these type of people? Are you like going like bullet point by bullet point, or are you just freestyling off the top of your head?
Oh, I'm prepared. Yeah, I'm ready. But like sometimes it's like if we're rolling with something, I'll like think of a question on the spot. But I definitely have like stuff planned that I'm gonna say, because like if I were to just like throw them on a Zoom call and just start talking, I'd probably get like blanked out and not really know where to go with the conversation. But if I have stuff to look at and kind of just like base the conversation off of it, helps to kind of make it flow better, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you having those same preparations for like yesterday? Well, today is January 6th. Yesterday you did the URI's first game against Fordham, and I sent Elray the clips too. And are you like preparing for that same way you're preparing for a podcast, or is that more like how do you prepare for a game such as calling a game, being color commentary?
Yeah, for me personally, I mean, it's always different for everybody that I've talked to that does like broadcasting. For me, I kind of always look into teams' history, players obviously that are playing great. I have like a manila folder, and I'll have like the rosters in front of me. I'll write down like a ton of notes. It's not like in like obviously like a question form like a podcast, but it's more so similar to I like to look at the team's last win and their last game in general, just how they're playing, the tempo of the games, what it's like for them. Because play-by-play is different. Play-by-play is going play-by-play. And then I'm usually the color analyst guy, but like you said, like that was my first play-by-play game. And plus I know the sport, so it's just easier for me to analyze a play because I know basketball. If I had to do like, something like volleyball, I'd have to do more research on that because I'm not as familiar with it. But basketball is just easy because it's like first nature to me.
So when you have someone like a random gets in the game, are you looking at the roster while you're looking at the game? So 15th guy off the bench, are you knowing his name before the game starts? Or are you like, oh, damn, this guy's coming in. I have to remember it right now.
No,
I was wondering that. Like the random dude that never plays. You know this guy's name?
Yeah, for me, I do. Yeah, I do like my research on like every player. And if there's not a lot to go with that player, I'll pick like, a stat or two that is whatever's available. Because like if they get in the game, I can be like, oh, so and so did this in high school and they were this in high school. Like that's it. If they don't have anything else and you can't say anything else, they've just sparked something that they haven't in their college career yet. You kind of just go off of that. But yeah, I definitely do try to, because like the one piece of information that you don't think you'll ever use, you never know you could use it. So I try to be prepared as much as I can.
Are you gonna be that guy who's going to reuse that same line every time? So, guys, Ryan Tannehill used to be wide receiver at Texas A&M. Yeah, we know. You say this shit every national game. We know. We know Malcolm Butler had a crazy play in the Super Bowl. We know this. Why do you think people do that? At that point, Ryan Tannehill's been in the league for like 10 years.
Right.
He must have a million other stats, something cool else to say.
Yeah.
God damn, we know he played fucking receiver at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Is that going to be your go-to, or are you trying to do something new every time?
No, yeah, I would probably do like just how they're playing throughout the season. You know what I mean? Like the only really time you kind of introduce a player like that is if they haven't played at all, like in that setting, like if they're in the NFL or whatever it is, like college setting. But for new viewers that don't know who Ryan Tannehill is, it's not like bad to mention that. But if you're someone like yourself that like continuously tunes into those games, like obviously where he went and everything like that. So I feel like to use it when it's necessary. Like I wouldn't necessarily say that every game, but yeah, I mean it's not, you don't really need to do that every game.
But I can say, I guess being the other side of it, I've done live broadcasts for like Dolphin games, and there is times though where it's like, damn, there's nothing else more to say. So when you're saying this, like, oh, it's easy, second nature to you. I mean, football would be second nature to me as well, but it does get times where this isn't for everybody. So I guess maybe I was asking you, how'd you get into this? Do you think that's something that ever like sparked your attention, Elray, to do like a color or play-by-play?
Yeah, I think I like the idea of it, but I don't know like how good I'd be at it. So like in your head as a sports fan, you picture, you're like, man, I could do that. Like I could talk. I growing up, I played basketball, I watched basketball, I know the rules. You know what I'm saying? So you're like in your head, you think you can do it and you can do it at a high level. But I feel like there's there's an art to it at the same time. It's different than just like seeing it and then saying what's happening. There's more to it because you got to be able to pull the stats up and say those things that reference certain things. But I like I said, I like the idea of it, and the same thought you had is like being around sports and like wanting to stay around sports. Like I feel like that's like a cool way to do it without being like if you're not able to play.
Yeah, and you know, like stuff we're doing right now, like podcasts, and a podcast, if you think about it, is like a talk show on TV. It's like the same exact thing. If you're debating on, I don't know, just say like the GOAT, LeBron or Jordan or whatever. Like people like Skip and Shannon, they talk about that on the every week. You know what I mean? So it's like the same thing, but except like theirs is a little bit more scripted. That's the only thing I feel like, and it's like I guess professional, but for a broadcast is different because you're analyzing a game. But I just feel like that's the mindset I had. I feel like if he can do that, why can't I do it?
Who do you think is underappreciated now that you've been doing it?
Underappreciated as like a professional? Yeah,
like an analyst. Like I can think of someone off the top of my head who gets shit on all the time. I'm like, I think he's pretty good. I don't know why people hate him for. Chris Collinsworth gets destroyed on Twitter and stuff like that. I'm like,
I don't think he's bad.
I don't think he's bad either. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but like I don't think he's bad at what he does. I think he's good, but it's like I forget what broadcast it was, but he just sounded like nasally, and people like they detach like everything. Media detaches like your voice. If you stutter over a word, like it's like a lot of pressure's on. But like once you're on the mic, like you don't feel that pressure because it's like it's just you in the game. But no, I wouldn't hate on Chris Collinsworth. He's not like one of my favorite, but someone that's like unappreciated. I can't think of one off the top of my head, to be honest. Yeah, probably Sean Grandy, who I had on my, because he's not really that well known. I think he should be more well known.
How about you, Al? You think of someone you think, guess the bad side of the analysts?
Off the top of my head, I don't know if I have anyone. I have like a bunch of dislikes of like.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
I have more dislikes like play callers, like when Reggie Miller's doing games. Oh my god,
yeah.
That's or when Chris Webber was doing games, bad. Or when they put them together.
Oh my god,
when they put them together, it was dreadful.
Bro, mute music on.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys hate me for this, but I'm not that big of a Joe Buck fan or a Troy Aikman fan. I don't know if you guys like listening to them, but I'm not that big on.
He's a Cowboys fan, so he must listen to them a lot.
See, I'm a Giants fan, so that's why I hate them.
Yeah, so, okay. See, for me, I'm just used to them. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, because every Cowboys game that's on, it's them. Yeah. Majority of the time. Like, 99% of the time. So, they don't bother me. Like, I don't. I think when I'm watching the game, I kind of more tune them out than anything.
No, exactly.
I think, I'm blanking his name right now. You guys are both going to know who it is.
Oh, Booger?
God.
Booger's bad too.
He was horrendous.
Who was it?
On ESPN.
Booger. On ESPN.
You mean Boomer?
Boomer.
No,
Booger.
No, it is Booger. Yeah.
Booger McFarland, or whatever his name is.
Oh, why am I blanking?
Yeah, Booger McFarland.
Oh, no, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you know who he is.
Yeah, if I saw it, I'm
they
bad
took
with
him
names.
off play-by-play because he was so bad. Now he's like, you
know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's terrible. Yeah, he's terrible.
And I'm thinking of Tommy Heinzman and
Mike Gorman.
Mike Gorman is so underrated. He's underrated, but maybe not appreciated as much.
Yeah, Gorman does
good.
it. Yeah, he does it with Scal now.
Yeah, so good. I like Scal a lot too.
I'm not the biggest fan of Scal.
Really,
I will say
the only reason why I love Scal is just because like how his NBA story, like how he was like. I guess, he was pretty bad, but like, just like, what the kind of player he was, and like, he still like, he embraced that, you know what I mean? Yeah. And made it something pretty cool. But
that I like about Scott. I'm not the biggest fan of him as a play-by-play guy. He's like, He's not bad.
He's just biased towards the Celtics.
Yeah, and that's why for the longest I couldn't watch Celtics games on the Celtics network.
But he's taking over Tommy. Because Tommy was biased as hell too.
Yeah, he was trying to be, like, call the fouls. Like, oh, that's not like he was going it as a fan, which there's no problem to that. But it's just like it gets sickening after a while. In my opinion, it gets sickening after a while.
You must have hated Tommy Heisman then.
I'm not a Celtics fan. That's why I never really listened to him. But
he was bad. He was super bad. But yes, so all those I know. Well,
So,
Al hates
hold on
Skip
one
Bayless.
second. Cam, are you a New York guy all around? Like
except
basketball?
for the Bruins, yeah, hockey. I'm a Bruins fan, but yeah, Giants, football, Knicks, and Yankees, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll get to those. It's finishing off. So you're finish off at the internship.
Yep.
And now you're URI doing sports broadcasting for all sports, or just basketball.
Everything, yeah, everything.
So how'd you? We kind of went over that the first time, but for those new viewers coming in, it's been a while. So you just applied for the position, or they reached out to you? How did that come along? Because not everyone's doing that. Not everyone's calling URI games for ESPN Plus.
Yeah. So I mean, like in the summer, when I knew I was transferring, I was like, I really want to make a big jump, because if I can do it at Rick, and a lot of people are recognizing me at a smaller school, I can definitely do it at the bigger stage. And when I got denied when I was a freshman, because I didn't have that great SAT score, so that's probably like one of the main reasons why I didn't get into URI initially. But nonetheless, I did it after my sophomore year. Transferred, everything was smooth, and the day I got my acceptance letter, like over email, was probably like a couple days after, actually before I talked with you. And yeah, I hit up like that same day. I hit up like the sports information director, Shane Donaldson, David Walzer, who does like all like the games over ESPN Plus. I was like, can I arrange a Zoom call? I really want to introduce myself, tell you guys like what I'm all about. And then I emailed them like my resume, like with the Sportshub, all my clips I do like on YouTube and everything. And yeah, they put me on for like men's and women's soccer over ESPN Plus, and I was like, yeah, I don't know anything about soccer, but if I can get my foot in the door over the summer, I was like, you know what, might as well, right? So
Yeah, I love Ronaldinho.
Yeah. But yeah, so after doing soccer, I was like, all right, now it's basketball time. They're like, no, we got some volleyball games. You want to do them? And I was like, yeah, why not? So I did volleyball, and then the radio station, it was like, oh, we see all the things you're doing. Would you want to do some stuff for the radio? And I was like, whenever I'm available, yeah, definitely. So I've been doing color for ESPN ever since for basketball, and my first radio game is on the 11th on 90.3, and then yeah, I'm finishing color on ESPN Plus the rest of the home games. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. That's super dope.
So what's like the biggest difference from radio to calling on ESPN Plus?
So Rick was more of a radio style thing, because it wasn't some games weren't like on like a screen. Sometimes like they'd have trouble streaming it, so they're like, all right, we're gonna put you on the radio, but still do the same thing you do. I was like, all right. So on TV, it's like you don't really have to be like every single play, like, oh, pass this here, oh, there's the layup. Like you don't have to say it every single play. It's kind of like not dragged, but you can kind of have a conversation too with the color guy. But over the radio, it's like you have to really say everything that's happening, because that's how the person driving or listening on the radio, like wherever they're at, like can picture the game. You know what I mean? So I just feel like the biggest difference and adjustment for me was pacing, and knowing when to say what to say. Like that was when I first initially did it. Like, all right, what should I say? What should I not say? And how to put that into one.
Have you ever had like a flub?
Oh yeah, I've had plenty. Yeah, I've had plenty. Like last night, like the speaker for like the music is like blasting in my ear. So when the producer's in my ear, like saying, all right, Cam, 3, 2, 1, go. Like I could barely hear him. So I had to do like this and push the headphones on my ears. And I'm like, did he say, like, I have to hold the mute button, talk to my other guy. Like, did he say go? And then like, I kind of just have to like, wing it. But so there's a sideline girl as well. Her name's Paige. She's doing great things. She does like all the games for men's as well. And the producer will be like, all right, Cam, after we come back from the break, we're going to kick it to Paige for more on Malik Martin, who like had his career high the other night. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I didn't hear if you were doing it this break or the next break. So I'm talking. And then Paige comes up behind me and she's tapping me. And I'm like, oh, like, did I have to say her? So I'm like, all right, here's Paige courtside. And she's like, no. And I'm like, oh, we'll hear from her shortly. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's tough because you can't like talk back to the producer, and it's like a work in progress. You got to kind of go with the flow. But when you do make mistakes, if anyone's trying to get into it, I would say just cover it up as best you can, because the more confident you say something, the more believable it is for just like people watching it. So if you do stumble over a word or do say something, like either like like make fun of yourself, like make it fun, like make it enjoyable to listen to.
Is that one of those things like when you mess up, you're like you play it off on, and you go home and beat yourself up over it?
Yeah,
idiot. You look in the mirror, you're like, you're stupid. How'd you mess that up?
Sometimes, definitely, yeah. Because I like think before I speak or speak before I talk. I don't know how to say it because like sometimes I talk too fast.
Yep.
So like I'll be like, all right, I just gotta like. Because when I read too, I'll always like stumble over words. I'm like terrible at like reading something aloud, but yeah, it's like I'll look back at it and I'm like, oh, I screwed up, but I'm like, oh, it doesn't sound that bad if you were just watching it. Like you're just like, oh, like maybe that wasn't supposed to happen, but he made it. He covered up for it. If you mess up and you're like you say something on air like, oh man, my bad or something like that, like that's live, like that's live TV. Like they hear that.
All right, Cam's done. Take them off.
Yeah. So, but
it's
yeah.
funny because I was doing a voiceover for a commercial.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this is easy. I've been doing podcasts for a year at this point, and
You did it most recently?
Yeah, I'm reading off of paper, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so easy.
Yeah.
I messed up for like an hour and a half. Like someone was reading, I'm like, God damn it! I'm like, gotta do it again. Send this in. I'm like, blah 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 blah. I'm like, God,
Yeah.
I'm getting in my own head about it. I'm like, oh, this is pissing me off. So much easier doing a podcast.
They did a tribute to Don Cole, who's like a big personnel for URI Sports and everything. He called a lot of games over the radio and everything. And I had to read something, but it wasn't live. Like we were like, all right, we're gonna take a couple takes. We're gonna see which one we like the best. And thank God that time, like I was more like experienced with it, like doing it yesterday. Like I only took like 2 takes doing it. But when I first had to read stuff, I was like, oh, can we do that again? Oh, can we do that? So like by the time like we were like all done, it was like time to get on the air. And I'm like, all right, I gotta like do it so I give myself enough time to get ready for the broadcast and not mess up every single time I do it, like every take. It's definitely hard though.
That's funny when you're talking about like bloopers and stuff like that. Yeah. I always think about when you're like watching the news and the guy they call to is like so delayed. He's like, oh, hey, Cam.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What's taking that guy so long? Has that happened to you guys? And you're like, what? Why did Paige take so long to answer me?
Not so much her, but definitely like the producers. Because like I was watching back the clips. That's how I get all my clips together. And I was watching back the game, and we came back from the break, and it was just the score. And I'm like, how come I'm not talking? And I'm like, this is definitely a time where I couldn't hear him, or he like was like, all right, we're going, we're live, and I just can't hear him. So I was like, oh, all right, yeah, we're back, and the score is whatever. And like,
so you think that's what happens? Like when you're like they're live, and they're just like, what?
Yeah, that no, you could if you could see me like when it's on I'm like this, and I'm like waiting, and I'm like, oh, okay, yep, we're on. Like, it's just like that. It's crazy.
That's a typical thing. Yes, and that's what so that's 30 minutes in. We finally got the whole story. And now you're doing live, live games.
There it is.
I guess yeah.
Live games. No one's seen that. Live games, and so you have after basketball, you're gonna do like baseball stuff like that too. Whatever they throw your way.
That's the plan. Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, now caught up with Cam's Corner. Getting guests on. Make sure you check out his podcast. Most recently had Dante and Angel from UMass Dartmouth. It was a good episode. Go check it out. Do you have any other shows coming up? Because this is going to come out next week, actually. Okay, cool. So do you have anything coming up, like next week or upcoming guests you already have?
Nothing planned right now, but I like I told you before, like I'm really trying to push for Lil Skies. If you guys don't know, Lil Skies is a rapper. Really in tune with his DJ. Shout out DJ Rello, man. He's been helping me a lot with a lot of the connections I've been able to make. He's super cool, and definitely something I want to try in the future. That's like one of my like huge goals for my podcast, but nothing planned as of yet.
Like I said, make sure you go check out Angel, and he has plenty of guests. He had head coach of the Celtics, Joe Mazzulla, on. That was a pretty dope one for his first podcast, and a whole bunch of people. So make sure you go check and support him out. We're going to get into NBA predictions, catching up on midseason right now. It is January 6th, coming out next week. So how about this right here? LeBron James will have an exclusive one-on-one interview tonight. Do you see that?
No.
I don't know what that's going to be about, but you think he's going to request a trade?
I don't know, man. I wasn't a fan of that either when he did that with Miami. I mean, obviously a player like him's got to kind of make an announcement like that, but I mean, I don't think it's necessary to have something like interview. I mean, it depends on what it is. I don't know what it's about.
Yeah, I have no idea what it's about. Someone retweeted it out there as like a joke, and it was like the decision 2.0.
Yeah, I mean that'd be crazy. But the season's still going on, so I don't. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if he would do that mid-season.
I feel like he's already hinted towards like he's leaving LA. He's like,
well, I feel like he was very clear when he was like, if when his son gets drafted at some point, he'd like to like play wherever he plays, wherever that is. And I feel like in general, the Lakers have been pretty bad for like the last, how long has LeBron been there now? Like 4 or 5 years? Has it been?
2018, right?
Yeah. Time flies.
Time flies. Crazy.
Because I was watching the Inside the NBA yesterday, and it was like Kawhi and Paul George have played together for 4 years already. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
That's nuts. It's quick.
And they played like 2 weeks together, essentially.
Yeah.
So
in the grand scheme of things, no, the whole LeBron Lakers thing is weird. I am very curious to see what that's about. I don't think it's anything major like the decision 2.0, but I feel like because LeBron is LeBron, he's like always so scrutinized no matter what he does. Like he can brush his teeth and they're like, why the fuck did he brush his teeth like that? And you're like, bro, he's just like, that's like really a good dude, a really great basketball player. You don't have to like him, but I feel like people don't appreciate how like what he's doing right now. It's crazy. 20 years in and the level he's playing at is nuts. And people forget like that Lakers team's not good. I don't care like about the names on the roster. That team's not good. It's not a good team. Like they have 9 point guards. That's exaggerating. But they really have like a bunch of point guards and like LeBron and AD who plays like once every 3 months. So
until he gets hurt again.
Yeah.
I know. If he wasn't hurt, I feel like he'd be. He was in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, that tear he went on where he was like 45, 43 or whatever it was. He went nuts.
Yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on the whole LeBron situation that being in LA?
Like from his initial trade.
Yeah, like, just like like him right now. Like if you're LeBron. I mean, he's putting up great numbers for being 39 years old.
I know.
And he said that like he doesn't care about numbers. He wants to win. So it seems like he wants to continue playing. Mm-hmm. So it seems like this announcement might have something to do with that. I mean, I have no idea. By the time this drops, it will be said what happened. But I'm predicting it. Maybe he's gonna throw some shade. Maybe like a KD, Kyrie type of thing where they're throwing shade constantly at Brooklyn while they're there. And maybe this makes his presence known. Like, hey, I'm leaving somewhere.
Mid-season, that would be crazy.
I mean, the Lakers, what are they going to do this year? They're not doing nothing. There's no way.
I don't know. I feel like it's just like you're LeBron James, so obviously you're an attraction. You want to bring people around the league that are good, like Anthony Davis. Like you bring in him, Westbrook, you think they're going to be good, and like they're just not good. So it's like, I feel like somebody like LeBron should talk with the front office. I mean, he's not the GM, but like just bring in people, that are going to work to get good with LeBron. I mean, like obviously Westbrook didn't work, and like it just sucks. Now you got to ship that guy out to somewhere else. Like it's like
Okay, I got a question for you.
We knew that though. We knew they weren't going to work. Anybody who knows basketball and watches it could see that the Buddy Hield trade was the trade to make. That would have been perfect for them. But.
Just because it's a big name in Westbrook, it's like, oh yeah, we should get Westbrook. But.
Mm-hmm. Well, so when you're 39 years old, he's still playing well. Obviously, time is ticking on his career. If you're LeBron, are you trying to attract people, or are you just joining a team that the roster already?
I'm trying to stay where I'm at. I mean, like, a lot of like the big NBA greats, like somebody like Kobe or like, like Michael, like they stayed with one team and they made a dynasty out of it. You know what I mean? Like you don't think of the Lakers without thinking about Kobe Bryant. You don't think of the Bulls without thinking about Michael Jordan, or like, you don't think of, any other teams that have great players. Like you don't think of the New York Knicks without Patrick Ewing. You know what I mean? It's like those guys are just so surrounded by that team just because of what they've done for us. So I feel like LeBron should just stay and try to work it out in LA wherever he's got to move those players. But yeah, I'd probably keep it the same. I would say stay in LA.
How about you?
Same. I'll say this from like an overall perspective too. I think staying in LA is best business wise, because business for LeBron right now is probably booming being in LA. You know what I'm saying? He's in movies. His endorsements probably going crazy. Like just overall, and then obviously his kids go to school in LA. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know how much leverage the Lakers have anymore to like really bring in pieces. Like if I'm a player and I've watched the Lakers the last 4 years, I'm not like, that's not a team where I'm like, I know I could go there and win. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like before people, like if I go play with LeBron, like I'm at least going to make it to the finals. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a chance to win. The Lakers, I don't think people look at the Lakers like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, like I might get playing time, but like I don't know how, like if we're even going to make the playoffs.
I feel like you said the Buddy Hield trade. They need like he's not obviously like an all-star, but I feel like they need like a pure like scorer.
Yeah, just score. Like, someone to just get buckets.
Yeah. LeBron's like just dominant in his own. Like someone like Giannis, like they can just get a bucket whenever they want. But I mean, you need somebody that can score the ball. Somebody like maybe somebody like a Trae Young that can, facilitate and score, something like that caliber.
Yeah, I mean, that could be the announcement. Hey, I heard Trae Young is on the trading block.
Go get him.
Got him, I'm leaving. Trade AD. But I don't know. I think I'm the opposite way though. If you're 39, your clock's ticking. I think I'm joining a team that I know already at that point. LeBron doesn't need the money. At that point, join it. Like at that point, I mean, I don't know, it's tough. I've never made that much money in my life, but you feel like you would just take a pay cut to join like a Celtics. Just throwing that name out there. Celtics probably don't need them, but like if you had that choice, if you're LeBron, yeah, I'm joining the Celtics. I'm gonna join the Bucks. I'm gonna join the Kings. I mean, the Kings would be a cool spot for him. The way they're playing right now, LeBron could take them over the edge possibly 1 year.
At least to the playoffs.
Plus the playoffs, they have a better roster than the damn Lakers do.
I just feel like that just kills his legacy. I mean, like,
and that was my next thing, the legacy thing.
Like if he's like, you look at it, like, obviously he did his thing in Cleveland, like right out of like, these people are thinking if he's not an all-star in the first year, he's a bust. You know what I mean? But then he became like one of the best player in the NBA in like his second year. You know what I mean? Like just coming in. So I feel like just bouncing around so much and just trying to go somewhere to win, like the Durant narrative, I just feel like that just kills. Like, I mean, he still has accomplished what he's accomplished, but I just feel like he should stay where he's at.
But does that kill Tom Brady's legacy? Different sport. But Brady joined the Bucks just to win a championship. He did. Does that ruin his legacy though? I
mean, I feel like it's a little different with Tom Brady because maybe like, we don't know like the full story behind the scenes of what happened with the coaching and the staff and everything like that. But definitely similar though. I mean, I don't think what Tom Brady did was right as far as like an outsider eye. I mean, like, like we said, we don't know like what really happened with Belichick and all that. But if he ever considered to move to a different team, like, yeah, I would say like it's almost like identical to what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, bouncing back to what you guys said previously before this conversation started, do you guys really think LeBron is not the GM? Do you really think the GM is making moves without LeBron's approval?
No.
So LeBron's the GM, essentially.
The GM. I do think when you have a guy that caliber, you have to, like, his input, I'm sure, matters. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure it plays a big role, but I don't think he's the one, like, all right, the game's over, he showers, he puts his jacket on, goes upstairs to the office, and he's like, all right, this is who we're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's like that, but I'm sure, like, if he's having a conversation with who is it? Rob Pelinka, right?
Yeah,
that's the GM. Like, oh, we should look at this guy. We should look at this guy, like that type of thing. But I feel like most star players of that caliber probably have an input in who the team's looking at or who the team wants to get because they want to get someone that fits their style of play. You know what I'm saying? If you're paying someone that much money, you want them to be fit in that system, and you want the players around them to fit with that whole system as well. Yeah.
I mean, do you think that comes with tenure, or do you think Brad Stevens right now is talking to JT and JB and being like, asking for their approval, or does it come with like the territory of being a LeBron or Tom Brady?
I don't know. I mean, JB was almost out of there. He's skeptical of leaving. So I mean. You never know. I mean, you never know what happens after the season. But now that they got things clicking and got things going, I mean, I think him and Tatum should definitely try to stay together. Like throughout their whole career. That'd be insane.
That would be nuts. Yeah. That would be so cool. I do feel like at some point, like maybe because I feel like JT is the guy and JB is like the next tier down. Like he's still the guy, but I feel like there may be a point that comes. Say they win a ring or they win 2 rings, where JB's like, all right, I want to go do my own thing in like Houston, see if I'm really like the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing. I feel like that might potentially happen. That's just obviously me thinking things, but
I don't know. If I'm an NBA player, like I would want to win. So if I'm doing it with a duo, I don't care like if I'm the guy that, the guy that's scoring 30 or the guy that's scoring 15. Like, I'm playing my role and we're winning championships and we're doing it together. Like, and we're on one team. Like the whole, like that's a dynasty.
That's right cool. There, No, it is. I agree. But you get to the point you get 3 rings.
Yep.
Like, I feel like as humans, repetition, like, it kind of gets boring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you got to punch someone in the face like Draymond did.
Yeah. Like,
makes some spice into it.
Like, you wouldn't, like,
win another ring.
I feel like part of you would be like, what if I, like, at least think it. You would at least think, what if I went here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, you're right. Yeah. At least, I'd probably think it. It'd definitely cross my mind.
Yeah, and then you go to Houston and you suck, like James Harden. Or you go to, you're the only guy in the Thunder and you guys suck.
And now his career, he's bouncing all over the place too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When has it actually worked? Can we think about that? When has it actually worked? That someone's left and been the man and it works? Didn't work for Kyrie at all. When has it? I can't think of a time when it's worked.
Wow, yeah, that's a good question.
That's tough.
It does not work. Kawhi does it, goes to the Clippers. I mean, I guess Kawhi
Kawhi went to Toronto. Yeah.
Probably the one time.
But I mean,
But did he choose to go there?
Well, not even that. Like a lot of people were hurt. Like Golden State wasn't fully healthy. I mean, that playoff run was kind of, I wouldn't say a fluke. I mean, you kind of.
Hey, but Golden State's had the privilege of facing a lot of injured teams as well that no one ever talks about.
True.
That year when year they
no
won,
Kyrie, no Bron. I mean, no Kyrie, no Kevin Love.
And everyone that West that year was hurt too. Everyone they faced was missing like their best player, but no one talks about that. But being like the Warriors, though, they're a prime example of people who put their pride aside and win championships. The one team that damn does it pisses me off, but they put their pride aside. I think the Celtics have a chance to be like a Warriors dynasty if they stick together.
That Malcolm Brogdon trade was like one of the craziest trades ever. That was such a steal to be able to have a guy that was rookie of the year, like talented. Granted, he's been injury prone. To get him for that price and for him to be your guy off the bench and he does what he does, offensively, he can score. Defensively, he can play defense. Like, what more can you have for a team that's like right there, a team that just made it to the finals? You don't get players like that the next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't really happen.
And a Gallinari but can't imagine if Gallinari was playing.
I forget about that. Yeah.
Can't imagine. I know my guy Cam is a Knicks fan right now. Being a Knicks fan, how are you looking at the Celtics getting these guys and it's working out for them? Because the Knicks have been notorious as of late to be getting players and does not pan out, such as an Evan Fournier. How do you feel about that? Like that guy leaves. We were talking about this the other day, actually, not pre-planned mentioning his name, but going to the Knicks and just shitting the bed, essentially. He's not doing what he should be doing in New York for that money.
I mean, it does obviously like piss me off to an extent, but after Tibbs' first year when coach of the year, I was like, oh, this guy's great. And then, you know, kind of like spiraled downhill from there. But I mean, I think the pickup of Brunson's huge. You know, the only reason why, going back to like the Celtics, I root for them is because of Joey. You know what I mean? I want to see him do great. So if the Celtics are ever on, I'm always going to root for them, but if there's ever Celtics Knicks, I'm always going to go with the Knicks. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like Julius Randle's playing back to like what he had in his most improved player year. You know, he's putting up those numbers again. You know, obviously, if you watch the course of a game, it doesn't look like it, but I mean, it's just it's frustrating to watch at times. But you know, they're the 6th seed right now. You can't really complain too much. I want them to stay in that 1 through 6 because I don't want them to be a playing team.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you actually, being a Knicks fan, how do you feel about Julius Randle as a whole, like as a player? Like the year he got there and he went like when he won Most Improved, like he was playing out of his mind, but I feel like he was also playing efficiently too. But I feel like now, like since then, he's not, like, the efficiency's gone. I don't feel like it's there the same way, and like even just his demeanor is, I feel like it's just everything's just different now.
I feel like he's more of a leader now. I mean, you know, when he won Most Improved, it's tough to you know, just look at numbers. I feel like for me, like someone that watches a full game, it's like, you know, you see the type of shots he shoots and makes, and it's like, damn, he's making those kinds of shots. Like, it's kind of crazy, but you know, definitely like he's the guy. So like they want him taking the most shots. So obviously he's gonna get his points if he's getting off the shots he gets. But I mean, you know, I feel like he's a little bit sloppy. You know what I mean? Turns the ball over like in crucial timing. I mean, I wouldn't say he's clutch. I mean, he definitely has hit some clutch shots, but like he's just not like someone that can lead a team, like someone like a Donovan Mitchell or somebody like a you know, like not like a role player, but like an all-star player, like someone like a LaMelo or somebody like that. Like I feel like the Knicks need someone like that. Like they got Brunson, but if they can get somebody, I say this every single year in free agency, they need to get like one guy that's like they should have threw him the chips for Donovan Mitchell. They should have. I mean,
they should have.
Love
I was
RJ
shocked
Barrett,
they did it. I was shocked. They should have gave RJ Barrett up.
Yeah,
and I love RJ Barrett. Like I said, I'm a Duke guy. Love Duke. Love RJ Barrett. They should have gave him up for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, 100%.
Should have did it.
I missed that. Were they not willing to part with RJ Barrett?
No, they wanted to keep him. They wanted to get rid of like Obi, Toppin, you know, and these young guys. OJ,
from the Cavs or from the Jazz, let me take Obi Toppin for instead of
Donovan thought it was a done deal though. I remember he said it in one of the interviews. He thought it was like, you know, I'm gonna go to the Knicks. Like he thought it was done. It was
like
but
a no brainer. Like it just made sense. It was like written on the walls. Like
and they just dropped 71 the other night. So
like, his sneakers are $71 actually. They just announced it today.
Yeah, they did that with Dame Lillard too when he dropped like 61, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not gonna wear them or buy them. Still cool.
I actually do wear Donovan Mitchell shoes for basketball.
Do you?
$71.
Do you?
You like them? Obviously,
I mean, they're a little heavy, but like they're very like sportive. I mean, I got them like a year ago, but not like most recently. But they're not bad. Like I got them at. I remember I needed a quick pair of shoes because like, you know, obviously not in high school playing basketball every single day, but I needed a pair of shoes. So I went to Dick's. They were like $80. I was like, you know what?
Why not? Oh, you're saving $9 now.
Yeah.
But so what did you think? the Knicks need to improve to come up in the ranking? No, the standings. You guys are 21-18 right now. You guys are only like 4 games out of like.
I feel like the West is the same
third.
thing. Like every team is very, very close to being at that next step. Even like I said, even the West and the East as well. Like every team is right there. So in the span of a week, they could be at like the 3rd seed, and then the week after that, they could go back down to like 8. You know what I mean? So I just feel like efficiency and consistency is needed, of course, and just I don't know, man. I'm not huge on Coach Tibbs, and I feel like that they need to get some new like young coaches in there, and obviously turnovers is a huge part of why they're losing when they lose. So
midway through the season, you guys are 21-18. What do you expect out of the Knicks for the rest of the season? Any shocking winning first round or first round exit? What do you think? What's your predictions on the Knicks?
if I had
betting man, you're betting your house on this.
If I had to predict, man, oh God,
predictions.
I'd probably like predict if they didn't make the plan, they'd probably be like a first round exit. I'm not gonna lie, but if they can, I just want to be like a little bit optimistic. If they can be like I said, try to be more consistent and like obtain a 6th seed, they can. I think they can make some noise. Like, even when they were a 4th seed, I thought they can make noise against Atlanta, but obviously that wasn't the case.
I can't. That still pisses me off that Atlanta won that series.
Yeah, after that, I hate Trae. I can't stand Trae Young. I hate Trae Young.
I'm like, I don't even like the Knicks, and I'm like, bro, they got to win this series.
But I respect him as a player, though. Like he's a great point guard. He's something that your team you want on somebody you want on your team. But just that he's the villain. I can't stand him.
Do you predict any Celtic-like turnaround as they did last year for the Knicks, where they were like playing kind of 500 until like All-Star weekend, then they turn it around? Do you predict that at all for the Knicks?
No. I think like I said, I think they'll just stay at that. If not, maybe be a playing. I think they'll most definitely be a playing team, but I don't see them making like a huge jump to like back to that 4th seed like they had it a couple years ago. But probably like I think they'll be in the same range they are now.
I agree with what you were saying though about Coach Tibbs. I think they need a new coach, like a young coach.
Yeah,
I feel like his style is just not fitting with that team anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they're a bunch of relatively young guys, and I feel like they need a younger, like different style of coaching. And
Coach Joe,
help. Right?
Zula.
The Celtics, no way they let him up at this point. There's no way they bring him back.
It's just that they're back in like some games though. Like last night they beat the Mavs by like almost 30 points. So it's like you look at a win like that, you're like, all right, that's But then like they lose to like Orlando 2 weeks in a row. Obviously Tatum was hurt.
OKC the other night giving up 150 points without SGA was nuts.
Oh, Shai didn't play.
No, he did not play.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Malcolm Brogdon said that once they seen that, they kind of let up. It's like, why? I mean,
yeah, you can't do that.
But Draymond did say that in the episode of The Shop with LeBron. He's like, when you're midweek, you're gonna face a low team. He's like, it's hard not to be like, we got the Magic this week. Oh, we got the Thunder without SGA. And then you get smacked.
I would just worry about not getting hurt. I mean, I feel like you worry about that every game, but it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously not an NBA player, so I don't know what their mindset's like, but just go hard every night. I mean, that's how. That's how I try to live my life. Whatever I do, but it's just like as an NBA player, I mean, we don't know what their mindsets are like. So maybe Draymond's right. Yeah,
but I mean, like you said, like playing on the competition, but you think that really affects Mazzulla though, because I mean, I feel like every team has those letdowns though, and even with Ima and Doko, we had those letdowns when we were playing well.
Yeah,
so it's not like just like you think Ima would really have done it differently, possibly, maybe, but that's kind of like comparing like. You can't really compare at that moment in time, I think. I mean, I think Mazzulla's doing a great job. If we don't hire him full time, what are we going to do?
Right.
Hire Tibbs?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just from what his dad was like in high school when he was my coach, I mean, he didn't care who we were playing. He didn't care if they were like didn't have a win. Like he would want you to go, 110% every single time. And then throughout the course of the game, if you're up, then he would rest like the players that he knows that are going to play every single night. But, I mean. Obviously, Joe's a little bit different seeing his coaching style. So, I mean, he probably has that same mindset too, though. He doesn't want, it's his first year interim. He's not even really the head coach. He probably wants every player to go in every game, wanting to win and wanting to play the hardest. So, I mean, I feel like if one of his players, like if Malcolm said that, I feel like that probably ticked him off a little bit. Probably. Yeah, Malcolm said it right after the game. So, I'm sure he's running hills after that. So, let's do Eastern Conference first. So, right now, it's Celtics, Bucks, Nets, Cavs, Sixers, Knicks, Pacers, Heat.
Who do you think has been, let's start off with the biggest disappointment this year in the East? Who do you think the biggest right now, disappointment-wise? After Heat, Hawks, Bills, Wizards, Raptors, Magic, Pistons, Hornets.
I think the Heat for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I feel like because they didn't really. All they lost was PJ Tucker. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, all they lost was PJ Tucker, and I don't know. I feel like I expect them to be like your typical annoying Heat. Like they're constantly like just have one night it's Kyle Lowry going for 60. The next night it's the backup point guard. Then Victor Oladipo comes off the bench and plays 30 in the next game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got light skin off the bench going off. Oh, that dude pisses me off.
It's like they're one of those teams that's super annoying because they're so deep that they have so many guys that that can go off at any given time. So for them to, especially like last year, for them to make it and give the Celtics a run in the playoffs, and then to not kind of just lay down this year is weird. But I do expect them to have like one of those like All-Star break turnarounds where I don't think they'll be as like good as like the Celtics were last year after the All-Star break, but I think they'll like be like they'll be one of those teams you don't want to run into in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend who's a Heat fan. Shout out Bo. He is going with the injury excuse route.
Yeah.
And they're so injury prone right now. We don't have a full lineup. So I guess I can see that, but I definitely agree with you guys. It has to be, I mean, probably the Heat or the Sixers. I mean, so even though the Sixers are 23 and 14, they're not really a disappointment. So I guess, yeah, it would be the Heat. But
I got a friend too who's a Heat fan. Shout out my boy Ray. I mean, he's like,
excuse as well.
Yeah, same. He says the same exact thing. And like going back to like the starstruck thing we were talking about like way earlier. Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry were at URI to watch. And, to watch Devon Carter. He plays at PC, and his dad is one of the assistants for the Heat. And you know, me being able to work those games, I was fortunate enough to meet both of them. So when he saw that, like he was obviously like crying, like, "Oh, can I are they still there? Like, what are they?" You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. But yeah, he's a huge Heat fan, so he says the same exact thing with injuries, and you know they're not full strength. Like Jimmy only really plays like when he wants to. It seems like, but
how do you feel about that? Like being like a coach like that, letting PG and Kawhi play whenever they want, essentially. Jimmy Butler play whenever they want, essentially. I feel like that just ruins team chemistry, and that's why the Heat are 2019, and that's what they're doing. They're letting Jimmy play whenever he wants. I mean, if you're like a role player, I mean, you know, I play basketball, but Elray's pretty good at basketball. How do you feel like that? Are you just being like, okay, you know, Jimmy is the best on the team, he can do whatever he wants? Or are you like, nah, F that, he should be playing every game, and then that ruining your morale as a teammate?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you look at other sports too, like sports like hockey. I mean, like someone like Patrice Bergeron plays for the Bruins. He played in the Stanley Cup Finals with like a punctured lung and like broken ribs. So like if that guy's going out there skating up and down the ice, you know, for 90 minutes, I mean, I'm sure Jimmy Butler can play with like a sprained finger or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. It depends. Again, we don't know what these players go through, so it's tough to judge. Like from an outsider's point of view. Well, from an outsider's point of view, it's like, why aren't you playing? But I feel like you know, depending on how serious the injury is, like they should just be trying to go out and win every night, you know?
What about you, Al?
It's the same. I feel like the NBA has become like super soft. You know what I'm saying? Like guys missing games. Granted, it is a long season.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like that's what you train all off season for. You know what I'm saying? You prepare yourself for the long season. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I think part of that comes down like from up above too. So it's not just coaches that like, all right, you're gonna take this one off. Like especially when it comes to like a star player, you know what I'm saying, like a Kawhi or a Paul George or Anthony Davis, where it's like, all right, we know you're injury prone. We want to try and if we can preserve you for like closer to the playoffs or for the playoffs, then why not do that? So I get it, but at the same time, as a fan, like I'm not the biggest supporter of it. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with you guys. Like I'll just be pissed thinking about like, you know, beginning of the season, I buy tickets for
just gonna say that
Lakers Celtics game. I expecting LeBron to play. LeBron gets scratched. I'm like, yo.
Not even from like injury. Not even from injury.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, he
load management.
Tonight. Yeah.
Like, oh, really? Now I get to see him on the bench. Cool.
That happened to me.
It happened to you?
This year did.
For LeBron?
No, well, I want to see LeBron play, so I haven't seen him yet. But it was for I went to Knicks Trailblazers. I wanted obviously Dame, but he was hurt, and his like status was questionable. And like a couple weeks before, he was like, all right, he's gonna be set for this date. And it was a week before I was going. I was like, all right, he's gonna play, but then that date comes out and he got to sit. And I was super close. He was still there, but I wanted to obviously see him play. But
it's frustrating. So do we all agree Heat was the Eastern Conference disappointment?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Have any shockers for most improved team, or team you did not expect to do as good as they're doing right now?
Cleveland,
Eastern Conference,
100% Cleveland.
Definitely not as good. Oh, I will say the Bulls too. I thought the Bulls would be a little bit better.
You think who? Wait, what was the question again? Like who do you think who was like unexpected to be that good?
Yeah, but he's like said, did not interrupt you guys. Going back to the disappointment, he said
okay.
Bulls too.
Yeah, the Bulls are a little disappointing.
Right.
17-21 right now.
Oof. Ooh, I didn't know they were that bad.
So,
a little Zach and DeMar. I get what you mean.
They have the same record as the Wizards, to put that into context.
Oof.
Yeah,
Only 3 games better than the Magic. So, yeah. I mean, do you think they could turn it around, Al, before we get to the improvements?
The Bulls?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like DeMar's playing good still. I just think him and Zach LaVine may not like be able to coexist as well as like we think,
like a JB and JT type of thing.
Yeah, they're actually very similar. Neither of them shoot threes really well. Well, Zach LaVine does now, but like I feel like their style is very similar. And what I always forget, they have Lonzo Ball, who's just like
he's hurt.
Yeah, who's been hurt for like what's it been like the past 2 years
essentially.
Yeah, so that's rough too.
They got Vucevic though. Big man's good. He's solid.
Yeah, he's been so consistent like for the past like what has it been like 10 years,
20 years.
Yeah, he's just been consistent. He does the same. You know what you're gonna get from that guy.
Dude pisses me off. I remember last year Celtics. Possibly this year he had like 4 putbacks to beat us. I'm like, how? God damn it! Get this guy. Talking to me, I'm 5'7", I'm trying to guard a 6'10" guy, but I'm sure it's a lot harder. But yeah, he was pissing me off. He's so good. But I would love him like on the Celtics.
Yeah, I feel like he'd fit well.
When Al leaves, get his ass. Yeah, Al's been, what a shocker Al's been. How do you think that contract was warranted? Would you have given it if you're Brad Stevens?
Yeah, I would. I mean, just because of what he did last year. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't the one who brought you to the finals, but he played a big part in helping out, the team as a whole. And that's, I think, what got them there, just because like they played so well collectively as a unit. Yeah,
but that money could have been used for Grant. I think Grant's definitely way more part of the plans for the future opposed to Al. I think I would give that money to Grant if I had the choice.
I was talking about this the other day too with my friends. Like, Grant is a great role player. Like, he knows what his role is and he plays a role. I'm just not that big on him. I don't think he's like that great. I mean, like, if he went anywhere else, I feel like he would not be making this much noise as he is.
You think he's a system guy?
Oh, 100%. I feel like he's like, once he gets into a system and a team and like he knows what his role is, he's good at playing that role. And he's not going to be that guy to break out, which is okay. Like, but I would rather give the money to Al.
But he is a system guy with the Celtics. So
exactly. So
right. Yeah. Al showed that clearly.
Right.
Sucked to the Sixers after. Didn't even play in OKC.
Yeah.
And he's thriving with the Celtics. Can't you say the same thing though for Grant? I don't care if Grant goes to the Bulls and sucks. Doesn't affect me.
Right,
but he's on the Celtics and he's amazing. And he's going to fit well with JB and JT. Wouldn't you rather give that money to him opposed to Al, who maybe has a year or two left in him? We gave him, what, a 2-year extension?
He's older. Yeah.
How about second year? He just stinks.
True. Yeah. I mean, just because I feel like he's just a different player than Grant. Because you kind of need that big presence down low. Because even when Robert Williams is hurt, you don't want Grant, or say both of them are hurt. You know what I mean? You don't want Grant playing your 5. You know what I mean? Like,
true.
You need like height on that team.
And Elray's favorite. Do you think he is a locker room presence? You think some of that money is a locker room presence?
Do I think Grant's a locker room presence?
No, Al. You think like he's the team chemistry? Elray hates Al. I was joking.
No.
You give money to be a team chemistry guy.
Like, are you Udonis him? Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Stop. Get off my goddamn salary. Get out of here, bro. Like, if you're going to be a coach, just be a coach. Don't be taking up a roster spot.
They have it's a role in the NBA. It's called a culture coach. I remember I was talking with my dad because he was telling me that Joey was like, that was his first initial role with the Celtics. He was their culture coach to bring them, help the chemistry and bring them in as a unit and really get them to play together. I mean, Al could do that, but I mean, he can't do both at the same time. I don't think. I mean, players can do that, but I wouldn't give Al more money just to do that.
No,
I mean, that's what they do for Haslam.
Yeah, the Udonis Haslam
crazy.
thing.
That's nuts.
that he just comes back and he sends out. I will say though, he played this year against the Celtics and JT. He was guarding JT and got blown by quick. It was everywhere.
He's 40. Yeah.
It's like get out of here.
He hasn't. What's he done in the NBA though? Over his 20 years.
Over his 20 years, I don't know.
Piggyback off LeBron. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what is his career numbers.
Let's pull it up right now.
I wouldn't say it's anything over 5 points.
You don't think so? I was gonna say 10.
All right, let's pull it up right now. His career is 7.5 points per game.
Oh wow.
6.6 total rebounds. 0.8 assists.
He's played 5 games this year.
Yeah, five games this year.
That's probably the most in the last couple of years.
0.6 points, 1.2 total rebounds, and no assists. Literally, he's running around when he gets in.
Oh god.
Oh man. So Bulls disappointed to L as well. So you said who was the
Surprise team.
That's like
surprise
shocking
team?
you.
Yeah,
Oh,
shockingly.
Cleveland, 100%. I mean, like that move with Donovan Mitchell, you could just see how much better they are with him. And losing Lauri Markkanen sucks, but it's like, I mean, Donovan Mitchell just dropped 71 points. Like, you know what I mean? And they're the 4th seed in the East. So
You said that sucks, but did it really suck at that moment? Are you just
no,
this dude-
not in the moment with the trade. No, but like he's playing, like he's putting up
Amazing,
numbers.
yeah.
He's putting up a lot
He
of
just
good
dropped
numbers.
49 yesterday.
Yeah.
system guy?
No.
No.
If you're and even if you would compare him to Grant, not even close.
No,
not
I
even
think.
close.
Oh, so let's play Would you rather? Would you rather have Lauri Markkanen or Grant Williams right now?
Lauri Markkanen, 100%.
On the Celtics?
On the Celtics.
Oh yeah, Lauri Markkanen would probably start in the Celtics.
You think so over who?
Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. He'd probably be a 6 man. If I would, yeah. So what's the starting lineup right now? Marcus, Tatum, Brown, Horford.
Al, and Rob's not starting at right now.
Okay.
I think does Grant start? Grant, I think it's like rotational. Depends on the game.
Depends on the
situational.
game. So let me ask another one. Would you rather have right now Lauri Markkanen or Julius Randle?
I saw that on Twitter the other day, man. I don't know.
I know that one hurts.
I mean, maybe I would probably maybe say Markkanen just because of he's more versatile. Like Randall, like he can put up the points and he can get the assists and the rebounds and stuff. But it's like I said, if you watch a course of a game and you see the rebounds that he's getting, it's like nobody's near him sometimes. Like he's just trying to pat the stats. Like I feel like Markkanen, gets those big buckets, those big assists, like in clutch moments where Randall isn't that clutch player.
I get you. I got one more. Markkanen or Sabonis?
Ooh, I would say Sabonis.
I think Sabonis.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would
Sabonis is
say
a
Sabonis
baller.
too.
We're gonna get to All-Star voting.
His
And
lines always hit.
He is literally
They always hit.
That's a disgrace how he's not up there more on All-Star voting.
Yeah.
Sabonis is a beast. We're talking about this before. I wanted him in the Celtics so bad when the Pacers were trying to get rid of him.
What are the Jazz in the Western Conference? If you still have it?
Just to answer your question, is JT, Smart, JB, Al, and Derek White is our starting lineup right now. And
Oh, man, yeah, I feel like Markkanen. I mean, that's a big lineup if you put him in there over White, but
yeah, but I think
I'd
White's more just like he's not going to start once Rob's ready.
true.
But what was the question? The Jazz,
yeah.
they fall in their 10th. They're 20 and 21.
So
right
yeah,
now.
I would pick Sabonis off of that too because Sacramento's what, the 4th seed,
Fifth.
5th seed, yeah.
Fifth,
so
yeah.
I would
Granted, though, the Kings have a better team, though.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Sabonis is like his numbers are crazy too.
Yeah, he's balling.
But they're close to Markkanen's as well. But I mean, I'd probably pick Sabonis.
Yeah. So Cavs for you too. You think?
Yeah, I'd say because I didn't expect Donovan Mitchell to get traded there, and then when he got there, I'm like, oh, it's going to take some time for them to mesh together and everything like that, and they just kind of clicked right away. I will say though, I think Darius Garland being out to start the season, I feel like he missed a good amount of games, allowed Mitchell to get more comfortable quicker, and then once you put them two together, then it's really going to go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, so Eastern Conference, I agree with you guys too, as well as definitely the Cavs. I mean, they're definitely scary. Predicted Eastern Conference Finals midway through this season. I'll go first. Let you guys think about it. So it'll be, I think it's gonna be, Cavs Celtics. Celtics. That's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna be a homer, but I really think we're better though. I'm going Celtics in the finals. I'm saying that. So that's like, we're doing so well at the beginning of the season. I think we're going to the finals again. And it's going to be 7 games over the Cavs at home. So I'm rolling with. How about you, L?
And for who's making
Eastern Conference Finals, and then who's going to the finals?
Um,
Again, the Celtics, Bucks, Nets, Cavs, Sixers,
I would
Knicks,
say
Pacers, Heat.
Obviously, matchups vary, but if I would say Celtics, Bucks, ECF, and then me being a Celtics fan, I think the Celtics are just playing too good to not make it back to the finals.
Yeah. How about you, Cam? Eastern Conference, ending this off Eastern.
I would probably say the Celtics too getting there, but I mean, if KD and Kyrie, I mean, I know that's the narrative every year. If they can stay healthy and ball, I mean, like they're just putting up insane numbers too as a duo. So I mean, I feel like Kevin Durant and Kyrie too, for that matter, are like hungry for a win. Like they want to get there, and they're sick of people saying, "Oh, this was a bust to make this team happen." But I feel like if they can keep playing, the Nets are the 1 seed right now, aren't they?
No, the third.
But they're like within like a game.
Yeah,
or
they were
so,
like one at one point.
They're a game and a half back.
I'll say Nets Celtics, and that's tough. I'd probably stick with the Celtics, just how everything's going right now. But I'd say Nets and Celtics.
Yeah, Kyrie's plotting something soon. He's gonna blow up the team. But
Something like that. See, something like that would just screw up. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's gonna happen.
Like last year.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. He's gonna tweak his thumb. He's not gonna play for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Western Conference now. It is the Nuggets, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Mavs, Kings, Clippers, Blazers, Suns, Warriors, Jazz, Timberwolves, Lakers, Thunder, Spurs, Rockets suck. So disappointment. Same thing. Starting off Western Conference. Wow, Suns, huh? 2019.
I never believed in the Suns, so I'll say that.
So are you rolling with Suns being the biggest disappointment?
I'd say the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get how they go from winning the championship to being so mediocre.
Their record home and away is literally the complete opposite. Home, they're like 13-3. Away, they're like 3-13.
They do definitely have that home field advantage, home court advantage. But yeah, I mean, time between them two. Suns, Warriors, I mean, they're both disappointments at this moment in time. I say maybe more the Suns because they don't have no injuries or anything like that.
Chris Paul's still playing. He's healthy.
Chris Paul missed a good portion of the beginning of the season, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Did he?
And Devin Booker's out now.
Yeah, Devin Booker
for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so I'm rolling with the Warriors then because
they're healthy.
Are they missing? Yeah, they're not missing.
I will say they lost a lot of pieces. They lost Otto Porter. They lost Gary Payton. I feel like they lost someone else too.
Maybe Zaza Pachulia, his 30th year.
Zaza Pachulia. I feel like they lost pieces though, like pieces that were like crucial that like fit really well for them.
Do you think
Damon Lee? I mean, it wasn't really that important, but he went to the Suns. He was the guy.
He went to the Suns. Yep.
Are we thinking the altercation is affecting their team chemistry? No one's really talked about that.
I feel like it has to. Like, how you knock someone out like that and it doesn't affect like something? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe
it would have to.
I don't know what personally if Jordan Poole and Draymond talk like outside of the game or outside of practice. You know what I'm saying?
But even still, you're playing with this dude. You see him all the damn time. You don't, in the back of your thinking, this motherfucker embarrassed me in front of national media. Everybody knows about this. I can't do anything now. Back on it, because what am I going to do? Then I'll get suspended, and you're kind of you're in a pickle of that situation. It has to affect you. It wouldn't affect you? Get it knocked out in front of everybody?
Yeah, for sure. But like the chemistry part, I mean, I feel like, obviously Otto Porter was a big part, but I mean, Gary Payton too. But I mean, you still have that core three with Draymond and Clay and Steph. So, I mean, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's probably something to do with why they're down, like they're spiraling down. Plus, like everyone hasn't been healthy. Like Curry hasn't been playing. I mean, he's back now, I think, but he hasn't been playing either. But.
Yeah, but I mean, they're the Warriors. They will turn it around in like May. They're going to sneak in and they're going to go off.
No, yeah, they will go off. But I don't think they'll get it back to where they were last year.
So are you rolling with the Warriors as your biggest disappointment as well?
I would say that. If not, I would say LA too. Because I mean, obviously, like you don't want to see LeBron at like the 10th seed or whatever it is.
12th.
Yeah, that's bad. I mean,
12. Yeah.
Anthony Davis too going down. Like I think they were a little bit higher of a seed, but I mean, it's just
they were like 7, I think.
You don't want to. LeBron, I know, is hungry to get back into the playoffs too.
They're only 2.5 behind 8th, so I mean, they'll be in the play-in scenario. But I mean, are you really going to do anything from there? Probably not.
No, right?
Yeah. So what? Any the biggest surprises in the West?
Obviously Sacramento, but probably. Let me see.
Nuggets, Grizzlies.
Pelicans by
Oh yeah. They're the third. They're the third seed, right?
Yeah, the Pelicans the one.
Yeah.
It's good to see Zion back. You know how he was.
Yeah.
Back in like high school. You know what I mean? It's just that dominant. And CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram too. He doesn't get a lot of love either. I think
He gets no love.
Brandon Ingram's a huge part of that team too.
Also, I'll say too, the Mavericks after losing Jalen Brunson to still be like up. What are they? Top 4, top 5?
They are fourth.
Yeah, for them to still be like up there, like I feel like their team isn't that great.
No, I was just gonna say that if they didn't have Luka, they'd be screwed.
He
he literally carries that team on his back every single night.
Down by 9. What was it like? With 30 seconds left last week? That was absurd. Definitely absurd. I mean, yeah, it has to be the Kings or the Pelicans. Is it worth? Was it? I mean, clearly it was, but at that moment in time, was it worth benching Zion the entire year to stay injured, well, to come back from your injury to be doing this now? I mean, do you think they could have made noise last year though?
Because even last year they were in the play-in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they kind of gave it to the Suns. That's why they had that beef now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Just because like they made that big pickup in CJ McCollum, so they probably wanted to see how he would work out. Obviously, they'd want Zion back to see how the team would play out in full. But you know, getting him obviously helped with the play-in. And then now that Zion's like fully healthy, I mean, I think he was out.
He's out a little bit. Yeah, I think he's out right now for a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, still the third seed. I mean. And that team's definitely clicking better now that he's back on the court.
Do you think they have championship aspirations like this year? Like not like obviously they do. But I'm saying, do you think they realistically do?
Not this year. No. Like I don't think they'll be the third seed in the West by the time the season's over.
I could see them maybe winning the first round. You know what I'm saying? Maybe depending on the matchup. But like that's the most I'd have them. I wouldn't have them like Western Conference Finals or even semis.
So before we got to our predictions, how do you feel about Zion yamming it with that second left over the Suns? Do you think that was disrespectful? Should he have done it? His reasoning was that he was having his teammates back from last year when they were kind of being disrespected, so he had his teams back. So he's just going, you guys want to have beef? I'll do a windmill 360 on you guys right now.
I'm going to say what CJ McCollum said. Should have played defense.
Yeah.
I mean, Zion said it after the game too, like that it was, not it
was out of character.
Yeah, it was out of character. Yeah, so I mean, I'd just probably agree with what he said afterwards. I mean, obviously it's out of character, but as a fan, like I don't really care because it's it's him. But in the grand scheme of things, if it was somebody else that was like a nobody, I'd be like, what the hell is this kid doing?
Yeah. But then Chris Paul is over here complaining about it, but then this dude does dirty stuff all the time.
Chris Paul, he's dirty. Didn't he? He like
elbow Alvarado in the damn chest right before that.
Somebody needs to knock him out, man. I can't stand Chris Paul.
Yeah, no.
Who was it? Rondo? Rondo should have knocked him on his ass.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And then Brandon Ingram came in with that should have been like.
Brandon Ingram wanted all the smoke too.
Does anybody want to see Chris Paul win a championship?
No.
I could care less if he did.
No. I'm kind of glad that Milwaukee sucked all the energy out of him that series.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. He went from like being like loved, like beloved, until like a villain now. Like nobody wants to see him win. Nobody wants to see the Suns win.
But I love Devin Booker though. Like I'm a huge Devin Booker fan.
I feel like he's so cocky and he's done nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I feel like he's done a whole bunch. Like he scored a lot of points, but that doesn't mean like Melo scored a lot of points and Melo gets more respect than that. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like I feel like Devin Booker has done a whole bunch of nothing, but he talks like he's done something. Like Klay Thompson talks the same way, but Klay Thompson has rings. You know what I'm saying? So like you're like, all right, like, and he's one of the best shooters ever.
Right, yeah.
And when he does, I feel like it's like provoked. Like people are always doubting him, or they're saying something for Klay to talk that talk back.
Yeah, Devin Booker is just like, I feel like the Suns in general just be feeling themselves too much. Like campaign, like bro, get out of here. Like please get out of here.
They were pulling like the Cam Newton. They were celebrating when they were like on the hot streak, and once they lost, they're like, oh,
you can't celebrate. You can't do that.
You can't celebrate.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you guys were out here dugging after every damn game. And now you guys lost, and you guys want to complain about it. I hate those. Yeah, hate those kind of players. I mean, the Warriors do, but they win. I mean, they back it up. I mean, I hate it, but it's great.
Campaign. Who the hell's campaign to start? You know what I mean? Like
exactly. That one year when the Warriors were bad, 2 years ago, they were on NBA TV a lot, like replays, and so I was like, oh wow. Now they're not good. I can appreciate how good they were. Like they were amazing on those like Cavs finals, but once like live, I'm like, oh god, I hate the Warriors. Like that, I went to Game 3 last year, the finals, and I'm sure you guys remember when Steph had that up and under layup.
Yep.
I was like, wow, this guy is amazing.
Yeah.
Hate him, but this guy is amazing.
You respect it.
Yeah, I mean, once you back it up, I mean, it's kind of hard to hate somebody like that. I mean, it's easy, but hard. It's like a Brady. It's like, dude's so annoying. He's like 10 to wins, but I mean, he backs it up. He backs it up. And talking about backing up, who is going to back up their performance this year so far into the season? What is the Western Conference Finals predictions and the finals? L, are we believers of the Nuggets?
No, absolutely not. I don't believe in the Nuggets. Not even a little bit.
Predicting what? So are they in the Western Conference Finals, or they're not even making it for you?
No, I think they'll make it to the semis.
I think Memphis will be up there though, because they were there. They were battling with Golden State last year.
I think Memphis. I want to say it's going to be Memphis and the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. And
that's tough too. I honestly no. I would say the Clippers. I would say the Clippers are going to get there this year.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah, if they can, it's just they're injury prone. You know what I mean? So if they can stay healthy, you see what Kawhi and Paul George can do on the floor together. So
that team on paper is really good.
Exactly.
When you look at the roster, they're really good.
But if they can be healthy, like that's the problem. If they're hurt throughout the rest of the season, like spotty here and there, like they're not going to be there. So it's going to be tough. But I definitely see Memphis going there. And I would say, I mean, I'm going to stick with LA. I'm going to stick with the Clippers too. And I would say probably. That's tough to pick from. I'm gonna go with Memphis just because of last year's performance and how they're playing this year too, and how Ja's an MVP candidate. So I would say Memphis. Yeah, out of that series.
Memphis. Well, sorry, it was Memphis and who?
The Clippers.
And the Clippers.
And so you're predicting Memphis Celtics finals.
Yeah.
Memphis Celtics. I think it's gonna be. I think we're gonna run it back. Warriors Celtics.
It's very hard to argue that. I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Warriors Grizzlies. I can't see. I think Luka's gonna get. It's just
he doesn't
Luka
have
at that
enough
point.
when it
He
comes
doesn't
to
have
the
enough.
Right.
Pelicans are not. They're playing well, but I don't think they're gonna make it to that point. I don't believe the Nuggets at all. Neither. Kings I don't believe in. Clippers I don't believe in. Blazers joke. Suns. Suns I can't see it happen. I see Warriors and Grizzlies. Yeah. Warriors, Grizzlies, Warriors making it. They're going to turn around like they usually do. They're going to piss me off. It's going to be Warriors, Celtics. And I think it's the redemption story. They're going to bring in those ratings, and Celtics are going to win finally to overcome.
I'm telling you, man, you're going to see it. Watch. Couple months down the line, the Clippers are going to be up. I think they're going to be up there just because they need to stay healthy. If they're healthy, they'll be a top. They'll be a top 4 seed.
Yeah, and that is our predictions for the championship. So who's going to win MVP?
Oof, like for the year?
Yeah, for the year, yeah.
Probably Joker again. I don't want him to. Because I honestly think Embiid should have won last year. I do think Embiid should have won last year, and I don't even like Joel Embiid.
There needs to be like a random criteria though. What the hell MVP is? Is it the best player in the best team? Is it the best player like on a mediocre team? I don't get it. I mean, the Nuggets are the first seed, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like that year, Westbrook won on the Thunder when they were like 7th seed, and like.
Yeah,
right, cool.
But I think he averaged a triple-double that year too. That year was crazy. That one I think was like that one had to be right. Like that one, I didn't question the Russell Westbrook one. What's Joker on 2 now or
2? Yeah,
2. Yeah. Like I said, I think last year should have been Embiid. I think if Jason Tatum continues to play at a high level, I think he's probably top 3. And then I think Ja's got to be in that conversation too. Ja's playing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean JT is the best player on the best team, and I don't think on the NBA rankings he's not even first yet. He's still not first.
If the Mavs were better, it'd be Luka.
100%. 100%.
But my pick would be Tatum. I'd pick Tatum.
Joker, of course, 25.2, 10.7, 9.5. JT second, 30.7, 8.2, 4.2. KD third, Luka fourth, Giannis fifth.
That's fair. I'd pick Tatum though.
Yeah, I mean personally, I want Tatum to win, but like I just feel like the way, like I agree with what you said. There's no like specific criteria for MVP. You know what I'm saying? Like the year when Steve Nash won it back-to-back. One of those years was Kobe's. Like there was no question about it. One of those years was Kobe's. But there's no specifics to it. It's just like
I mean, it's tough. It's like 25.2 or 30. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. I'll go with JT. Just win it all. But yeah. I mean, you guys agree with the All-Star voting too? All-Star voting. Oh, I just had it up. LeBron's first overall. Do you think that's like a legacy thing, or do you think LeBron should be up there.
I think he's LeBron. So yeah.
The fans are gonna obviously vote him too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Domantas Sabonis. He didn't even crack the top 10 for Western Conference front court All-Star voting. He's first in rebounds per game, leading Kings in rebounds and assists per game. Best player on the top 5 team in the Western Conference, second in total rebounds and assists.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be an all-star. It's just gonna be like not a starter. Like the coaches are gonna vote him in.
yeah,
So
that's all fan voting though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like Kevon Looney, really? Like
exactly.
Like, yeah, there's some of that just
Austin Reeves, like
Yeah, like get out of here.
Front court is LeBron, Joker, AD, Zion, Wiggins, Paul George, Laurie.
Andrew Wiggins again this year?
Yes, bro, fifth over
sorry,
Paul George.
I was
over
arguing
Laurie,
with that too. Yeah,
Over Draymond's 8th. Draymond's over Kawhi, and 10th is Looney.
The fact that Looney's even on there is bullshit. The what was it? Andrew Wiggins deserved it last year. This year, no. Like
They're saying that he's having a better career this year, so he should be technically a starter again.
I don't know about all that.
I don't know.
But I haven't looked at the numbers though. But the eye test tells me no.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know
that's
what
the
I'm
same
saying?
thing. That's how I look at like we talked about earlier, Julius Randle, like the eye test. You got to watch a full game and how they play. Like,
Yeah.
they're putting up the numbers, but how are they doing that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. And guards is Steph, Luka, Ja, SGA, Clay, Westbrook 6, over Lillard, over Devin Booker, Reeves 9th, and Jordan Poole 10th.
if I saw like a list of more players in front of me, I'd be able to say there's probably players over Westbrook too. I would say obviously Reeves, but I don't know. I mean, it seems okay, but yeah, probably Reeves. I'd be like, why? And Kevon Looney, why?
Kevon Looney, yeah. Even Westbrook's playing good, but I don't know about all-star worthy.
Yeah, so if you're gonna be able to vote, it's this one's tough.
No, that
Eastern
pisses me off.
Conference.
How's Jason Tatum not up, bro? That makes me bad.
KD, Giannis, Embiid, Tatum, Butler, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Kuzma, Paolo Blanche,
Kyle Kuzma.
Yo, I think Paolo should be an all-star, honestly.
Nick Claxton, and Jarrett Allen. How is Claxton?
I wouldn't hit on Jarrett Allen, but like I don't know about.
No, but I'm laughing over Claxton over Allen.
Oh right, yeah. I don't know the numbers that he's putting up, but like Claxton, Kuzma, come on. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, I would take Big Al over Nick Claxton.
Nick Claxton's not bad.
Well,
He's not
all-star?
bad, but not all-star purposes.
Hell no. Isn't Siakam sucking too?
I know the Raptors overall aren't really good.
And Butler hasn't even played.
I was just to say that he hasn't even played.
That's crazy. That's why the fan voting is like flawed.
But I don't get it. I mean, it's a different sport. But 201 overall fan vote and didn't make the game. It's like, how the hell? So you're telling people to vote, and then these players don't even make the game. Like, I know I was talking about it with Brett, actually, and there was a year that Clay was like top 3, and then he didn't make the game.
Yeah.
So why are you telling fans to vote, and their vote doesn't matter?
It's like real life.
I mean, like, but that's the thing. Like me being a biased Knicks fan, Derrick Rose is at 9. Like, Derrick Rose, man. Like, I love Derrick Rose.
I love that, but he hasn't even played that much.
Yeah,
Like 22 games.
yeah, he hasn't played that really.
Guards, Kyrie first, Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Jaylen Brown, Trae Young, DeMar DeRozan, LaMelo Ball.
LaMelo hasn't even played either.
Yep.
Hallenberg, Derrick Rose, and Darius Garland.
Hallenberg's having a good year. Even the Kyrie Irving over Donovan Mitchell is kind of crazy to me. And I love Kyrie Irving personally.
I don't hate the top 5. I think it's
No, that's
solid.
pretty good. I would say DeRozan over Trae Young though.
Yeah, I mean Trey, like the Hawks aren't that great
Aren't
either.
that good, and at least I feel like the Bulls are better than the Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really been paying attention to James Harden, but has he not played neither? Hasn't he been hurt?
He's like skittish too, like Paul
Yeah.
George and Kawhi.
Yep.
Yeah, he said he wants to go back to the Rockets for what?
Yeah, I know.
there was speculation. He said she gave the typical like professional answer. I'm here in Philly type thing. Like
Oh, so that
I'm
means
here
you-
and I'm excited.
Just like-
to see
just
what
like
the team
Kyrie
can
did.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I want to stay here in Boston.
So that means you want to leave. At that point, you might as well say no comment.
Effie, I know you got trust issues.
Oh, cool. Dude, fuck Kyrie. That's how I feel about him. Would you take Kyrie in the Knicks?
I wanted him. I wanted him really bad. Yeah, when that was going on before he went to the Celtics, I wanted him. But I mean, just a head case. Like if he's not gonna play, like why even bother getting him? You know. But
completely ruined
Kyrie's
Celtics.
Kyrie, man. I mean, you never know what would have happened if he was at the Knicks or who would go there. You know what I mean? Like he drew in Kevin Durant to Brooklyn, so if Kevin Durant could have came to New York, I wouldn't have hated it, but not going to go anywhere. It's like, what's the point? You know? So
yeah, I mean, he got KD, and then KD wants to leave.
Yeah,
So
I know. It's just
like,
it's a whole thing.
It's a whole drama, and the drama. So yeah, so who's winning the championship? Yours was what? Was it Grizzlies?
Yeah, Grizzlies,
Celtics. Who was winning the championship?
Celtics in 6.
Yeah.
Celtics in 6. I got Celtics in 6 over the Warriors. How about you, L? Celtics, Warriors too, right?
I'm gonna go Celtics in 6 over the Warriors.
Celtics in 6 over the Warriors. We will see how we pan out. How we're gonna be predicting the NBA season. Anybody? Any last words for this season? Anything you think's crazy gonna happen?
I hope my predictions pan out. I mean, I think I got some pretty solid ones. I think LA is definitely like the Clippers. I think that's a sleeper one. If they can be healthy, I think like right now, obviously people are sleeping on them, but I think they can get there.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I've never said my predictions on video, so I can go back and be like, well,
it was super. We do that all the time. Super wrong.
super wrong. Hopefully we're not wrong. My Celtics, they would have let me down, but hey, that's not it's not crazy because I'm a Dolphins fan. I got let down epically. Epic collapse, different sport, but I can't see that happening to the Celtics. I hope they just rest Rob. We don't really need him like that right now, and he's very key for the playoffs. I think Rob is definitely the key to our success. Because once he kind of wasn't playing his full potential last year, definitely affected how good we were.
Right.
So I can't. I'm kind of scared of the Cavs, to be honest. I fear them more than the Nets. Who do you think is the biggest fear for the Celtics?
The Bucks.
Yeah.
But I will say it depends on Chris Middleton. We beat them last year without Chris Middleton.
That's
if
true.
Chris Middleton's playing, that's a tough team. Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis, that's a really tough team. Like I said, the Nets are scary because Kevin Durant can go for 60 whenever he wants, and Kyrie's unguardable. So those two guys, but like I don't feel like their overall team is as good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the Bucks, and the Nets maybe close second.
Yeah. Fun fact for you: did you know that Ben Simmons is 15-0 against the Knicks? Best record all time against the Knicks.
That's so
Really?
random.
He is your kryptonite.
Are they playing the Knicks tonight? Or
I don't know. I don't know why that was posted up. I seen that. I'm like, I'm saving this for Cam because let's see how he feels about Ben. Is he even playing?
15-0, really? Like you mean like 50, like being like getting minutes or just like being on a team that's
I guess when he plays. Yeah. I mean,
really.
that is it's kind of. I mean, no, the Knicks are not even playing tonight.
Oh,
The Raptors.
Yeah, Raptors. Yep.
They're down by 10, I think. No,
They're not even playing
by 10.
tonight.
Up by
Actually,
10.
they're playing
Up by
up
10.
by 10.
Up by 10. Yeah, 15-0 against the Knicks.
Did not know that.
Is he playing? Simmons?
Oh,
Yeah, he's been playing. I don't know. I don't think he's playing well. I think he's averaging maybe like 5 points a game or something like that. But like they say he's playing. I don't know.
I think he's one of the biggest busts too in NBA. One of the biggest busts in NBA history.
So I didn't think so until the final year with the Sixers, the playoffs, not the actual year, the playoffs where like he was mentally broke, and then coming this whole thing between like the back problems and all this stuff when he got to the Nets and not playing to now, and you watch him play, he's not good. And I was riding for him too.
The one that got me was when Kyrie was like, Ben, shoot it. He did not shoot it. No. But that's our NBA predictions. We'll see how we're doing. We'll come back maybe after the season. We'll do a trio again, see where our predictions were and how bad they were off or how right they were. Hopefully I'm right because I said the Celtics are winning the championship. So that is my prediction. Make sure you follow your boy Cam. Your social medias?
CamiaSimone and Cam's One Corner for the podcast.
Yes, sir, baby. Make sure you follow your boy Elray.
Elray Jetson, that's it.
Elray Jetson. If you find Elray Jetson, it might be somebody else. Isn't that somebody else? Like Elray Jetson?
I don't know. Oh. Maybe, probably.
Wait, so why did you put the underscore there?
I don't know. I think because I did on one social media I did underscore, and then one I didn't do underscore, and then when I tried to like do with regular on the other social media site, I couldn't. So I just made them all underscore because it's easier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's always weird though when someone has like underscore. It's like,
yeah,
how many
yeah,
underscores are there? I don't know. It throws me off. But luckily, I have no underscores. It's your boy ExploreF on all social media. Make sure you follow your boy's podcast page, EG Pod Thunder, on all social media. Like, subscribe, send us a moon. Let's get it, baby.